might need to just sit up close.
I can just increase the sensitivity. Now talk.
Okay, how about now?
I think you might just have to
be closer to the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're
right under it. We're scooched up real close to one another. For the listeners at home.
I mean, you can sit in my lap if you want. We talked about
Yeah,
this.
no, yeah. I sat in your lap last time. You got to sit in mine now. All right, yeah. So welcome, one and all, to a Wizard Hang extravaganza of epic proportions. I am here. Mr. Squidward Ludwig has joined me at my abode, in my house, in my bedroom, where all the magic happens.
Yeah, there's magic cards everywhere.
The room where it happened, if you will. And by it, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
The wizarding.
Yeah, the wizarding, of course.
Yeah.
And then we are joining us live from his live from his home in the Hollywood Hills.
Cambodia?
Yeah, Cambodia.
California, baby.
Yeah.
California, Cambodia, though.
Yes. Mr. Werewolf Bar Mitzvah.
Spooky scary.
Yeah, the scariest of them all.
Hello.
So glad to have you with us.
I am excited to read today. Do you want me to plug my shit?
Yeah, plug everything you want to plug.
Okay. I am Liam Smith, also known as Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. I create a bunch of horrible smut that no one in the mainstream will or should be interested in, so please don't follow me. But I will be working on some more mainstream comics in the next couple of months, and I'm finishing up a novel, and I'm desperately trying to get a bunch of short stories published, and hopefully at some point I'll have links to those. So basically I have nothing to plug.
Very roundabout way of saying that. And Mr. Squid Ludwig, why don't you plug everything you would like to plug? I know you have a couple of podcasts that you do.
I'm a podcaster trying to be a writer. I do a podcast with a friend that is about like thriller novels. We call it Dad Lit. It's called Dad Lit Podcast. It's just about like Tom Clancy, Clive Cussler, like Jack Reacher shit. It's fun if you like reading. And then I also do another podcast with a friend about the Twilight Zone called The Unlocked Door. And I'm actually going to be on his other podcast coming up here real quick. I'm going to be on Toonhounds.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're doing an episode on Transformers. And I basically, like, insisted that if they ever did Transformers, they have me on.
I would like to turn into a car.
There it is.
Yeah.
Insert transforming sound here.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, so I'm going to be on Toonhounds, their next episode.
Yeah, that podcast will be more than meets the ear.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you got to save that one.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I do.
Oh, yeah, wait, I forgot. We have to sync the audio as well. So we got to do our one word at a time little game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. It's been a while since we recorded one of these.
Yeah.
Like, in general. Like, not just the three of us.
No one's going to remember my first part of my story, which is okay. I wrote a last time.
A previously on. All right, so let's do our syncing audio game. All right, who's got the first word?
Sinking.
Bears.
Underneath.
Water.
Swallow.
Barnacles.
And
lymph nodes.
Because
humans
masticate.
Starfish. All right, there we go. All right, so that'll be good to help us sync the audio later on.
Nice. Okay. In sort of a multimedia addition to my stories, I dropped the two comics, obviously in the Wizard Hang area. And when you drop this episode, if you want to link to those two comics, then people can see what the inspiration for this story is. Because for each Spaceman spiff, they are technically very mildly based on one of the Spaceman spiff comics that is a subgenre of Calvin and Hobbes.
I really love that both Liam and I have incredibly referential stories that we tell.
Yeah, I just love how, like, all of your references always just go completely over my head.
Oh, I can't wait.
And the fact that I made references that I didn't know about that you caught on to last time. That was great. With Dr. Oz and the boy and shit.
Are you looking at this comic? I can't wait for Liam's version of this ugly-ass monster.
He's
or do you want to do charming in a way. He's got, like, Simpson's lip, where his mouth, like, protrudes forward.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, Spaceman Spiff, we have ways of extracting the information from even the most uncooperative prisoners.
Wow, you sound just like me. It's crazy.
Our hero, captured by Zorkons, eyes the diabolical instruments of torture.
That's actually, I think, a pretty perfect Calvin voice.
Very amusing. You twisted space frog. What's this fiendish device called?
A chin-up bar! Get on it!
Spiff readies his daring escape.
Okay, so now we should probably describe what we're seeing here. So it's Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes with the little fucking sunglasses on, and this big old fucking alien with Simpsons lips, like, is bringing him into a BDSM torture area.
He's got, like, eyes on stalks, like a lobster.
Yeah. Then the monster brings him to a fucking chin-up bar. And then the last panel, the monster is now all of a sudden the gym instructor with the words written on his chest.
Big fat gym instructor with a flat top haircut. I love that the gym instructors are always drawn to be out of shape.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true to life. Yeah, the format of every Spaceman Spiff in the Calvin and Hobbes world is you start off with the delusion of Spaceman Spiff going through something, and then the last panel reveals it is Calvin daydreaming about it.
Yeah. Which is very not true of your actual stories, unless that is something that
that'll be the last
you're
story.
alluding to.
The very last story.
The very last.
An incredibly deep and personal reveal of what has been going on the entire time, and it's going to be like Apocalypse Now levels of, like, adult material, and we're just going to be like, oh shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be shaking and crying, and then at the last second, you're just gonna rug pull the shit out of us. It's just gonna be it's gonna be Macaulay Culkin sitting in class with his pinwheel hat. He twirls it.
That is a thing that could happen.
Oh shit, we forgot to mention.
Oh, we'll mention it.
Yeah, Squid and I
almost wore it today.
Squid and I went to Renfest together.
Yeah, you wore probably the most uncomfortable looking
I was
outfit.
dressed as Tin Man.
Yeah, and I was dressed as the boy, TM.
Yeah.
I had the Macaulay Culkin Home Alone outfit of green cargo pants, which were hotter than the fucking sweater that I was wearing the whole day in the Florida sun. Somehow, the thin-ass cargo pants just did not breathe.
And then what did you have on your head there? It was
I had the little propeller hat, the little colorful rainbowy propeller hat, and then I had a medieval crossbow strapped to my back.
Yeah, that crossbow was very inconvenient. You were hitting everybody with that.
Everything.
Everybody
Oh my
kept
God.
walking
I
into
had
it.
to, like, check it every time we were passing people so I didn't club a kid in the head.
And then while we were walking around at the festival, people were, like, pointing and looking at me like, oh my God, it's Tin Man.
So many people, like, boomers were like,
everybody
I recognize you.
Everybody thought that I was just a big Wizard of Oz stan or something. Yeah. And then there was exactly one guy who pointed out Squid, and it was like, is that Macaulay Culkin?
And I was like, oh my God, how did you even fucking pull that?
It was like at the end of the day, too. So we were walking around all day, and you were just still jealous that I was getting recognized.
That happened to me the other weekend I went, too.
Oh, shit.
So I went as Ned Land from Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh, yeah, you telling me about that.
So I was dressed up in the striped shirt, and I had his stupid, like, hat on, and I had a ukulele, and I put a stuffed animal squid on my shoulder. I thought that would be the dead giveaway. Walked through the whole day, no one's getting it, and then at the very end of the day, before I leave, one of the merchants is like, hey, buddy, she knows who you are. I was like, what? And he goes, she knows who you are. And he points me over to the salesman that sells the fucking annoying ass bird whistles. And she goes, you're from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I'm like, oh my God, yes! And then the guy that was there with her was like, yeah, I was actually singing that song that he sings earlier today. And he and I just dropped into singing it at the same time. Shit. And it was like the best part of the day.
But I just want to chime in and say, those pictures were delightful, and we really appreciate you guys sharing those with the Writing Club forum. That was great.
I was going to say, you have to share the pictures.
Yes, absolutely.
Link to those when you post this episode so people can see you standing under the oil sign.
Yeah.
The fucking best face
My
ever.
face, yeah.
Okay, and here we go. Spaceman Spiff and the Peril of Zorg!
Bum, bum, bum.
A little higher and to the left of the twin Icarus star system, where the belt of entangled matter dithers away, and all that remains are the husks of pirate ships being swallowed by spatial phenomena. Amid the darkness is the rogue planet Zorg. Its cratered and scarred surface was not unlike the before photo of a Zit Cream commercial. The dimensional lattice shuddered into existence as the Zorkon ship emerged from the creeping spill of shattered mirrors splaying forward from the emptiness of space. The elegant black chromium glinted against the faint starlight as it drew closer to the Zorkon home planet, communications chatter exchanging in the drawn-out discordant tones of Zorkon's song. The industrial infrastructure towering far above the shattered planet's surface welcomed the Zorkon dimension hopper back from the 5 to 3-dimensional space. Flowers of machinery opened to the big black tube filled with semi-translucent globules of Zorkon bodies, ready to be ejected into the deep crevices of the planet's elliptical docking bays. The engorged mast of the ship rubbed against the sides of the bay, thrusting in and out repeatedly until all the Zorkons had come into their home through pressure mechanisms.
I gotta take a cold shower now. Damn, son. Get me all hot and bothered. I got another grown man in my room with me here, and I'm getting all hot and bothered. I don't know how to feel right now.
Chris, I don't know what you're referring to.
This is a normal story. I think you're getting something out of this then.
Yeah, I think you're seeing something we're not. I think you're coming to conclusions. Anyway, the engorged mast of the ship rubbed against the soft sides of the bay, thrusting in and out repeatedly until all of the Zorkons had come into their home through pressure mechanisms released by the motion of the mechanism.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't see how that could be construed as anything, honestly.
No, it's just navel gazing.
It's a wholly original idea.
Just descriptive writing.
Yeah, no, that's very, very descriptive.
Yeah, seems like a reasonable idea for a docking bay. Two Zorkons ushered Spiff through the narrow tubes leading through the bay until they came to the egg-shaped chamber where Spiff and his Zorkon captors penetrated the squishy outer shell. "That's how you make a baby," Spiff said, staring at one of the Zorkons as they emerged into the hollow center of the chamber.
You gotta get that voice. That's how you make a baby.
They pressed him into a holding pod, housed next to several other prison pods lining the spheroid interior. "Very funny," the Zorkon captor with orange eyes said as a series of tentacles wrapped around Spiff's body. "As you can see, we have ways of extracting the information from even the most uncooperative prisoners," the other Zorkon said to him.
Oh, shit. Oh, we're pointing at my computer screen right now.
We're doing the DiCaprio point.
Yeah.
Our hero eyed the diabolical instruments of torture, impaling the face of one of the other prisoners in the adjacent pod was a long metal bar, wiggling slightly as the prisoner struggled against it. "Very amusing, you twisted space frog," Spiff said. "What's this device called?" "The chin-up bar," the Zorkin said.
Yeah.
"Spiff readies his daring escape," Spiff said. "You know you have no internal monologue, right?" the Zorkin captor with blue eyes said. Wait a minute, I gotta figure out which one. Oh, yeah, that's the one. "You know you have no internal monologue, right?" the Zorkin captor with blue eyes said. Between them, their eyes were their only distinctive features. Otherwise, each one was a brackish globule of pale goo wrapping around pulsating organs. "Yeah," Orange Eyes said, "and why you would call us frogs is beyond me. It's almost like you're trying to rehash some old script that's been forced on you." Blue Eyes sighed. It just feels a little contrived. I mean, your whole personality does, honestly. Like, what are you, Buck Rogers? You know he died in the Corvid Belt. His ship was pecked to death when he stole the emblem of Brachionocrus. It was a poorly built nest, Orange Eyes said incredulously. But still culturally significant to them, Blue Eyes said. It wasn't just a flight of fancy. Enough, Spiff yelled. Spiff demands to know why you've brought him here. You know exactly why you're here, Calvin, a voice said from behind the globules. The dark-clad visage of a woman he knew all too well emerged, a purple assortment of latched armor enclosing her torso, with leather black boots adorning her legs. Her jet-black bob hung down in a slant just above her eyes, concealing her constantly narrowed eyebrows. She wore a scowl that lacked malice, only reading of perpetual frustration. Solzed Durkano, Spiff said, the words almost choking with bile in his throat as he spat them out. Then he choked on bile and spat it out. He started vomiting bile. An unbelievable amount of bile came out of Spiff, pouring from his throat like an exploding blister until there was a small pool of black, brackish liquid around his feet. A disgusting globule of pus slithered from the bile, two eye stalks emerging from it as it began to take form. It was covered in growth spewing the same type of fluids that seemed to comprise the Zorkons and the internal structure of their holding chamber. Oh, we forgot to warn you about that side effect, Blue Eyes said, struggling. Yeah, we all start as diseased parasitic growths that make our way out of the GI tract, either up through your esophagus or down through the asshole. Mommy! The diseased pustule garbled out as it looked at Spiff.
Ding.
The prompts this week.
we didn't mention the prompts.
Well, they'll learn it. They'll figure it out.
Okay, so we should probably say that now. Hold on. The prompts this week are diseased growths and immortals.
Ding!
Those are the ones. Yeah, keep an ear out for those.
Mommy! The diseased pustule garbled out as it looked at Spiff. I'd rather be a mommy to Pol Pot, Spiff said, and then spat on the globule. Pol Pot! The growth replied. It began to repeat the words Pol Pot as Orange Eyes ushered it away through the egg chamber. Right, Soul said. Calvin, I know you think what I'm doing is wrong now, but once we put you through the neural stabilizer, you'll be able to see that you've been trapped in a parallel dimension where you're a horrible imperialist space mercenary. But listen to this woke PC snowflake lip-cock agenda bullshit. Just because I claim planets for the rightful heir to their fortune, the Empire of Earth, you have the audacity to call me a fucking imperialist? That's literally what an imperialist does, Soul said. What about the extremely exploitative economies of scale I've set up on those planets that are providing growth for 1% of their population, which I have termed the good ones, because the rest of them are clearly too lazy to work and therefore require the incentive of hyper-industrialized labor? What about the hyper-authoritarian police forces I've set up and the whisper campaigns to keep those workers in line that are clearly benefiting the working class by establishing a status quo stability on those planets that I and all my benefactors can point to and pretend is progress?
Oh, this guy's worse than Pol Pot.
He's speaking straight facts here. I don't know.
Also, how does he know Pol Pot?
Are you intentionally undercutting yourself? Soul replied.
I've been thinking this whole time while you're describing this. I was like, okay, what years does this take place in that he would remember Pol Pot? Also, how educated is he? Does he remember Pol Pot?
I mean, as much as Spiff is a dickhead, he's definitely very educated. I'm gonna give him that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, I mean, smart people can be evil too, man.
He chooses to be ignorant and racist. That's the difference. That's what makes him such a likable character.
Are you intentionally undercutting yourself? Soul replied. What about the mass graves for radical ideologies that merge in the post-colonial? It doesn't matter, Soul shouted. You're not actually this guy. Don't tell me what to think. I'm a freedom. You're a working class guy.
I'm a freedom.
That is a great quote. I am a freedom.
You're a working class guy who lives in Connecticut named Calvin, who has a strange but healthy fetish for furries that looked like the stuffed tiger you had as a child. A functional but strained relationship with your parents, a few friends, an extremely active Reddit handle, and a marriage. To me, Spiff said nothing. Well, I'd rather be dead, Spiff replied at last. He
I wonder what that Reddit handle is. XXX _ Fred Durst fan _ 69.
Spiff _ Rogan was right _ I'd rather be dead, Spiff replied at last. He wriggled his wrist, and she caught sight of a long, bruised scar along his wrist, barely emerging from the edge of his outfit. Wait! Sewell said, as one of the Zorkans came closer to inspect him. He flicked his wrist back and forth violently. Sewell realized what he was doing just as the device that had been surgically implanted with him snapped and ripped out of the flesh. Sewell jumped backwards and pressed herself into the housing cushion of the egg chamber. The internal chamber erupted with flames and debris as the Zorkon in front of Spiff was ripped apart. Spiff's body disintegrated, and the remnants of the holding cells around him spewed shrapnel out into the blubbery walls, causing them to start bleeding and deflating. As Soul crawled out of the mushy remains of the egg chamber, struggling to get her footing on the slippery, grated surface that had housed it, she saw what she had ultimately feared. Shattered bits of bones and viscera were among the charred wreckage, one of those bones holding Spiff's eye visor implant. Soul collapsed amid the mess.
One of those bones with shit on it.
another bone that was squimped from his butthole now. Soul collapsed amid the mess with a last, nearly inaudible whisper. No. Ah, man, that's pretty gross and a real bummer, Orange Eyes said, re-entering the chamber. He was looking at Blue Eyes' remains. He looked back at Soul. I mean, we're effectively immortal if we're not killed by anything. We just keep living forever. And, you know, when someone kills us, that really sucks. Like, it's a mean thing to do, you know? Soul was staring at the empty chamber where Spiff had turned into a cloud of flames. Are you listening to me? Because I feel like sometimes you just completely tune out our conversation, Orange Eyes said. Like, you really need to be more aware of people's needs. Like, maybe you need some counseling or, I don't know, drugs that enhance your attention centers. Oh, right. Wasn't that guy your husband or something? Oh, that makes sense why you're like so 100 yards stare right now, or whatever you humans say. 100 yards? Is it 100 meters? 100 feet? 100 foot? You know what? Forget about it. I'm sure it's not super important, but it's just like, it's one of those things that I'm never going to let go, and I'm just going to be thinking about as I try to go to sleep. You know what that's like, right? She looked up at him. Tears. I'm sorry. I love that guy so much. What an oblivious shithead.
I'm just sitting here grinning.
Oh, wasn't that guy your husband?
She looked up at him, tears beginning to form in her eyes. He's gone. Right, yeah, that guy, your husband. Yeah, I'm sorry that you didn't get to turn him back into the person he was with the science ray we were going to use. But man, the smell of him is just appalling. Like, it's like the smell of cat litter. That you could never... Well, Dan, I'm glad you were finally settling down and figuring out what you want to do with your life. What with you and your new wife starting a family and all, but we just don't have the supplies that you need to procure a fusion battery set here. You'll have to go down to the depot on Dogface 13, the purveyor of fine goods said to Dan, the very normal space colonist on the very normal space colony of Space City of Dog Anus 4.
Dog Anus?
Oh man, Tommy, Dogface 13's provisional government is still run by the Nightwatch cannibal gangs, though, and they'll eat anyone that's not an alien coming into the place. Dan replied, checking his visor implant for the supply roster he needed. Well, that don't make a whole lot of sense now, does it, Dan? On account of us being the aliens here. But yeah, there are human cannibals that'll eat other humans. You just have to skulk around a bunch and make sure you don't get caught. It's worth it, though, if you want a long-term battery set for your family farm. Fine, Dan said. Thanks anyway for checking. The very normal, plain, average colonist Dan took Space Route 4761 down to Dog Anus 13 and squatted down low in his space car so that space cannibals wouldn't space eat him on space site. As he,
Space eat him.
Well, standard space fare, yeah.
Yep.
that's how you know it's a science fiction story.
Mm-hmm.
As he rolled into the city, he maneuvered the hovering space car into a back alley parking lot near a space dog that was taking a space piss. I just gotta...
Wait. I'm lost here. Hold on. You said that he goes into the city? But where's the city at?
Yeah, where is it in relative to what's the word for it?
I would expect it to be like a space city.
Yeah.
It's, I can answer that very easily. It's in space.
Oh!
Now it's all
See, I was
clicking.
lost without the adjective.
That makes a lot more sense.
Sorry I didn't clarify
All right,
that
I'm back
earlier.
in. I'm back in the story.
I just got a spacewalk over to the space shop to get the space supplies from the space vendor, Dan said to no one because you, the audience, needed to be reminded what Dan was doing.
All right, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
Whoa.
Hey, Dan heard. A human with, like, wacky shit sticking out of his head covered in metal and plastic bulbs pointed at him. Why are you calling everything space? And also, oh my god, a human I don't recognize! Hey, everybody, time to do cannibalism! Shit! Dan yelled and started running back to the car. Before he could get to the cockpit, because it's a space car, even though everything that's been going on is planet-side, and no one has been in space, and everything has to have a space moniker attached because it's sci-fi, so space. Space.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he's on a planet in space, so
Yeah.
therefore everything
Space.
is in space.
Yeah, true.
Yes, space. I gotta get the space out of here, Dan said, frantically pulling on the space handle. One of the cannibals grabbed Dan.
I think he's spaced out, man.
It's all very spacey. One of the cannibals grabbed Dan and slammed him against the car. "Aw, gee, Scoob," Dan said as the cannibal smiled a frothing grin at the very regular, ordinary, normal space colonist. Suddenly, in a fit of non-normalcy, Dan's wrist started glowing. "Aw, no, not now. I got a new family and I'm good at negotiating with them cannibals and the switching process has a 15% chance of bodily explosion upon rematerialization," Dan yelled expositorily. "I don't know what any of those things mean," the cannibal yelled at him. But before the cannibal could finish yelling, Dan's body disappeared. And in the very clothing Dan was wearing, a sneering, leather-skinned blonde man made out of wiry sinew and palpable anger appeared in the cannibal's grasp. "Spiff has teleported into danger," Spaceman Spiff yelled at the cannibal. "But Spiff is friends with danger."
Oh, fuck.
"In fact, they're fuck friends." Spiff grabbed the cannibal's arm.
no.
Yeah.
Spiff grabbed the cannibal's arm and thrust his face forward, biting the cannibal's jugular vein and ripping open the man's neck. Blood sprayed across Spiff's face and chest, drenching him as the other cannibals looked at him. As the other cannibals around him looked on in shock as Spiff spit out the dying man's entrails. "Spiff out cannibals, the cannibals," Spiff said, and then and then revealed the Fry Ray 13,000 he had yanked from the cannibal's belt holster as the cannibal had collapsed in front of him. The cannibals around him moved quickly, but Spiff was already sizzling the head of the closest assailant. He felt a hand on his shoulder, and Spiff turned around to jam the nozzle of the Fry Ray into the combatant's eye. She screamed in terror as her eye exploded from the impalement, and Spiff yanked her head hard to the right with the Fry Ray to aim at another cannibal climbing over the space car. He pulled the trigger and blasted flaming viscera through her brain to make a 12-inch pyre shoot out of the car climber's stomach before yanking the Fry Ray out to turn on the next assailant.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I always write things that are family-friendly.
Yeah, he's not threatening a family.
He's saving, he's avenging a man who was family-friendly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. The two remaining cannibals watching the melee started running. Spiff gave chase toward the rightward cannibal first, running out into the street as the woman screamed for her compatriots. But Spiff was faster. He tracked her down, kicking her in the back of the shin to force her to stumble and fall, until Spiff was standing over her. She threw her hands up over her face and screamed. Before she could vocalize, the neck she once had was turned into burning paste against the road as the upper half of her body became a cookout.
Oh my god.
12 hours later, after every living soul in Dog Anus 4 had been turned into a smokehouse special plastered against buildings and tarmac,
Holy shit.
Spiff marched towards the fire exit stairwell of the city hall with a flag of a dog's anus, on which he had smeared in gore, Earth Empire. Residents gathered on the rooftops of Dog Anus 13 watched from afar through binoculars as the new flag emerged on top of the city hall. Shortly thereafter, they watched one of the cannibals' junk ships lift off from within the city, leveling a building as its thrusters blast through the structure. As the ship screamed into orbit overhead, Tommy, the shop owner, realized that it was leaving behind a trail of black dots, gradually becoming larger in size as they fell toward Dog Face 13. Tommy pulled the binoculars away as they began to ignite and move in different directions. He recalled what he had learned during his time in the Space Navy of Jizz on My Tits 25. Wait a minute. Are those guided nuclear cluster bombs?
Oh my god.
The end.
Oh my god. What a tale.
Oh
Holy
my
fucking
God.
shit. You dropped so much lore.
And bombs.
And bombs, yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even realize what was happening. And then oh my fucking lordy loo. Holy fucking space shit. That was incredible.
I'm not gonna lie. In the middle of the story, I thought you killed Spaceman Spiff.
Yeah, I thought...
I wanted to say something. I wanted to open my mouth and go, so how is this story continuing?
Yeah.
Also, under the guise of it being a person's like delirium, like if you kill yourself in your own hallucination, does that mean you've won, or does that mean you've like ego deathed?
Well, you know what they say. If you die in space, you die in real life.
You space die in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, Werewolf. That was fucking brilliant. I just love that part in the middle where like everything is like, oh, he parked his space car and stepped out into the space store. It reminds me a lot of Omega Star 7, which is another podcast that I'm plugging that right now that I've been a part of. And we do the exact same thing. It's just every single thing is welcome to Space Castle. Would you like some spurgers? Shit like that.
I would like a spurger.
And so we had an anthology where it was like space mafia. So like just think like The Sopranos but in space. And at the end of that episode, we do a cover of My Way by Frank Sinatra, except we called it My Spway.
Oh my god.
And it's just me singing the entire song, and I'm like, and spow the spendy spear. It's the entire fucking song. Roll a clip. Yes, there were spimes. I'm spure, you spew. When I spit off more than I could spew. Spun through it all. When there was spout, I spade it up and spit it out. I spaced it all, and I split all, and spit it my spray.
Spank Spinatra.
Yeah, Spank Spinatra the Third.
Well, I know the next thing that I'm binging.
Oh man.
I bookmarked it, and I'll definitely be plowing through it.
Yeah, Omega Star 7 is a very bingeable show.
That sounds great.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Werewolf, you did recently listen through of all of Wizard Scroll as well. I heard about that.
Yeah, it's terrific.
You were telling me how much you liked it, which thank you. I know.
Oh yeah, man, I'm excited for some of the stuff that you've been sharing with us in Writing Club, because it's building off the lineage that you're building with your podcast so excellently. So yeah, it's great stuff. Everybody should listen to Wizard Scroll.
Fuck yeah, listen to the Wizard Scroll. Fucking listen to Omega Star 7. Listen to listen to Squid Ludwig's story coming up next.
Uh-oh.
All right, Squidward. Squimping Ludwig. Is it Ludwig or Ludwig?
Whichever you like,
Yeah, watch
honestly.
out. That's very, very precarious.
Oh, I see what you're doing
Yeah.
here. You have like a pencil case that's
Something like that.
holding everything together.
Yep.
All right. Is everybody seated comfortably?
I'm ready, baby.
Very comfortably.
All right.
Want your beverage of sorts?
I'll take the beverage. Put it down here. All right. So, last time on Vitruvian. Using a divine map of space and time, Leonardo da Vinci sent a time bandit named Vermin to collect a band of heroes from across time who can, hopefully, summon forth the prophesied Vitruvian Man. They are the Anachronauts. Together, they must stop Vermin's old companion, Randall, a fellow time bandit but corrupted by evil. The two groups raced each other to reach a boy named Kevin they were told was essential to their individual plans. They both found a Kevin. Different Kevins. Kidnapped by thieves Harry and Marv, a British Kevin holds the memories of the divine map and the secrets of time, which Randall and a mysterious woman in the shadows force Kevin to divulge for their nefarious plans to revise the timeline. The Anachronauts, in the meantime, found the boy, Kevin McAllister. Even though they believe him to be the wrong Kevin, a sudden discovery that time has been altered leads them to bring the boy along, just in case. Now they travel to December 25th, 1776, to recruit George Washington and save time.
Does George Washington have a nickname?
He will. This
shorter.
is his story.
Apple tree story.
His
Or
story.
cherries.
Yeah, of course.
No. His story.
Oh my
All right. And now we return to
I believe it's pronounced her story.
yeah. Farce-tastic Tales to Astonish proudly presents The Boy trademark in Vitruvian Episode 2, Him and the Anachronisms Part 2 of 2, or Neo-Genesis Americana 2.22, You Cannot Revolution, or the Vitruvian Christmas Special, starring the Anachronauts
Christmas in March.
and introducing the Ton as himself by Squid Ludwig.
What a title.
Chapter 7, A Chrono-Dimensional Christmas. The Anachronauts exit out of a floating black time window, bumping into one another as they find themselves in a tent barely big enough to contain them, and certainly not adequate to contain the smell. My God, what is that stench? Lance Armstrong yells. Somebody ripped ass, whines the boy. The head, answers Edward Teach, looking at a wooden bench with holes in the seat. Yes, it's giving me a ripping headache, says Lance, trying to maneuver around the others, pawing at the tent walls for an exit. No, he means latrine, corrects Tycho Brahe. On a sailing vessel, you see, the head is what one calls the latrine, or bathroom. The boy finds the door flaps and throws them open, and says, crap. Yes, I understand this is the shitter. Now let me out of here before I catch some sort of diseased growth, says Lance,
Ding!
pushing through the others towards the exit. No, this kind of crap, says the boy, stepping out to the side so the others can see. There, with rifles pointing at them, are several Continental soldiers, complete with tricorn hats and all. The Anachronauts stumble out into the middle of George Washington's camp, a tent village in the middle of the woods. With hands up, the boy says, "We can explain." Lance says, "I'd like my lawyer." A laugh off to the side draws their attention. Somehow, already outside, Vermin is petting the neck of a pony, which chews on his boot hat. "Wonderful creature," he says. He is swiftly grabbed. They are all grabbed. After being questioned, the gang are thrown into a bigger tent. There is a table set up with a few stools. On the table, an inkwell with a quill sticking out of the top weighs down a stack of rough papers, keeping them from blowing away in the wind that's passing through the flaps of the tent. Peeking out offers a beautiful view. A river can be seen just through some tall pine trees. The guards waiting outside step aside, and ducking in through the flaps steps up the tall image of George Washington, General of the Continental Army. "The ton!" says the boy.
Nice.
Excuse me, says the austere but dirt-stained general. Tico starts to apologize. "Please, pardon Kevin, sir. He is..." But the boy cuts him off. "A big fan. Wow. I hold on to single dollars because of you. Sure, my uncle says $2 bills are rarer, but Jefferson, come on." "What is this?" asks Washington with a scowl. "A meet and greet? Are you with a school or something? Who told you we were even here? This is a secret and of the utmost importance. And bringing a child here? I chose to come along. They asked." Perhaps we can explain," Tico begins. "Yes. My men say you have vital information for the war, about the crossing, the city of Trenton, about the enemy, and that that all of this could not wait. Well, you certainly waited till the last minute, so what of it? What do you know, and how did you come upon this information?" Yes, well," considers Ty. How do I say this? Lance does try. "Just tell him we're spy..." Then they get cut off. "We are time travelers," blurts out Kevin. All turn to him with a mixture of astonishment, contempt, and confusion. "Well, we are," says the boy as he doubles down on his explanation.
True.
"Look, I don't know who put you up to this, but we cannot afford disruptions of this kind," Washington states. Lance Armstrong steps up and says, "Look, what Kevin means is..." But the boy steps up beside him and speaks up for himself. "What I mean is, you're supposed to cross the Delaware," Kevin points out the tent, "right? And some major jerks, pardon my language, are going to do it instead, and it's going to ruin time." Then, seeing Tico shaking his head, the boy corrects himself. "They're going to alter the path of this country. Britain will win, and some very bad people will get what they want." "Look, son, stop there," dismisses Washington. "Big implications that we are all aware of, but my men thought this important enough to bring to me, and I really need to know now if you all are serious or not. So let's let the adults talk, and you go outside and play with the ponies, okay?" Vermin steps towards the entrance, but Edward stops him. "But," the boy protests. "No argument, mister," says George. Deciding someone needs to be diplomatic and a voice of reason that this man could respect, Lance says, "Kevin, I think George Washington," he emphasizes the name, "is right. And we have very important things to discuss. And you just joined us, kiddo. There's much you don't understand." He seals the message with a trusting wink. The boy grimaces at the word kiddo, but he relaxes his face at the wink and shuffles out of the tent, kicking a rock on the way. The general waits for the boy to exit and then says, "All right, gentlemen, who wants to lay this all out for me and tell me what the hell's bells is happening?" The Anachronauts look at one another, waiting for someone to step up. Tico opens with, "Once upon a time, there was a man named Leonardo da Vinci, and he dreamt up an immortal hero of good named Vitruvian." Also, ding. Lance rolls his eyes and says, "Oh, here we go." One explanation later. "This is a lot to swallow, gentlemen. An astronomer, who I've heard of, by the way, and you look very much like his picture, along with a pirate, by your own admission. I could have you charged, by the way. And a man from the future. Of course you are. Just look at your clothes." The bicyclist squirms in his spandex. "I am quite cold, by the way. Can I get a coat?" asks Lance. Washington pays no attention, though, turning to Vermin to finish his thought. And you're a man wearing a boot on his head. Yes, that's right. Confirms Vermin.
That is correct.
About all of it, but it just comes off as being overconfident about wearing a boot. Washington gets up and starts pacing, circling the table. Vermin follows him around, grunting along with his sentiments. This is preposterous. If I take you seriously, no one will ever take me seriously again. My days as a respected leader are over. But if what you say about the Brits turns out to be true, same result. Worse for the outcome. It's lose-lose. Win-lose, counters Vermin. Yes, begins Tico in a further explanation, but George isn't done talking it out. Still pacing, he continues. And what you say about my teeth. It is true, there were weird circumstances that led me to me coming into the use of these dentures. But I don't know if I buy that they are special in any way, or that they are a set of such items made by Leonardo da Vinci.
They're also made from the teeth of slaves.
You think the teeth are weird. You think the teeth are weird, says Lance. You don't want to know about my item.
Item.
And George says, I don't. You don't, says Edward at the same time. And listen here, George wraps up. I cannot leave this war to come along with you on any fantastic flights of delirious fancy. It's too important. Sir, interjects Tico, you care much for your land. Admirable. But your land is part of a bigger world. The world is part of time. Exists across time, like your people exist across this land, from day to day, year to year. If something happens to time, it will not matter if you win this war. Washington sits back down and ponders. Lance adds in, and we can bring you back to this day. It's time travel. Vermin grunts negatively, looking pointedly at Lance. Undeterred, Lance continues, you come with us, we bring you back. It's like you never left. George looks up, as if considering it. But then he stands up and says, I cannot believe I've humored this conversation. You are all clearly mad. He makes to exit. All of the others stand up. But, Washington says before exiting, I cannot take what you've said about tonight lightly. Provisions will be made, just in case you are right. You all stay and fight if you actually care about benefiting history. After stepping out of the tent, General Washington sees that strange boy picking around in the Durham boats and longboats they have up on logs just inside the tree line. He approaches the boy. Peeking under one boat, the boy sees Boots stepping up to him. He leans upright to see who it is and says, Look, soldier, I wasn't doing anything, and is surprised to see just who it is. Oh, hello there, Mr. the Ton. Washington, sir. He comes around the boat to talk with the man. With a big smile, George crouches and says, Hey there, son. Kevin, was it? Sorry to dismiss you like that. I don't have a lot of experience with children, but I recognize that I was a bit hard on you. The boy shrugs. That's okay, I guess. It's hard to be the president. Washington squints, his smile faltering.
He squints?
Yeah. The boy goes on. But you know, it's hard to be a kid sometimes, too. I'm sure you were a kid once. I don't know if your parents ever left you alone or forgot you or had you, left you to fend for yourself and defend your house against criminals. I suppose that's sort of what you're doing with this war, right? England betrayed you, and now you're defending your home. Point is, I know a thing or two about defending a home base. I can help.
Yeah, he can.
And I have some ideas. He waits, smirking.
Yeah, the smile.
The smirk.
Exactly you should have put a picture of it in
Yeah,
there.
I should have.
Did you?
No, I should have.
Oh, you should have.
DreamWorksSmirk.gif.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Rather precocious, aren't you? Washington says. And it was the boy's turn to squint, smile faltering. George goes on, but you let the adults talk, so I should let you have your word. What's on your mind? The boy's smirk returns.
Yeah.
Well, in the morning, he begins his lengthy pitch. As dusk sets in, food is served and drinks are shared. The two groups share stories and jokes, laughing together in shared confusion about the strange ways and differences in culture across time. Vermin even shares his dinner with the pony, surprising all who know of his appetite. He took to her fast, and now the pair are almost inseparable, riding her all around camp, even just tent to tent. And the pony follows him everywhere when he isn't riding, even coming into tents if people don't kick it out. When everyone gathers around the fire to keep warm and tell stories, Vermin and the pony both sit down next to each other, Vermin laying back on her like a pillow. At the break in ghost stories being told, Vermin turns to the group and asks nobody in particular, "Can we keep her?" Ty leans in and says, "Vermin, she's a part of the army. They probably need her." "We do," confirms Washington. Visibly disappointed, Vermin says, "Everyone should have a pony."
Yeah, facts. Someone should run on based on that.
Don't worry, mate, Edward says with a wink in the firelight. "We'll get you one just like her." Edward, snaps Tico. "I saw that wink." What? Smoking me eye.
He's got an eye patch, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he blinked.
Actually, I don't think Edward Teach had one eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't even think about it, says both Lance and Ty in unison. They laugh, and the soldiers join in. Chapter 8. Darkness Falls. As Washington's camp enjoys their Christmas, hours before his historic crossing, dark shapes move across the water. The Hessians did not wait to learn the information given to them was true or not. They did not wait to be surprised on Christmas Day. They did not wait for the freezing rain to stop. They did not wait for death. They did go now to meet it. They do not wait. At the lead, the boat being led by Britain's general, Charles Cornwallis himself, though not standing proud on the bow, leg up like Captain Morgan. No, the bow is manned by men with oars, pushing chunks of ice floes out of their path. A very bundled up Cornwallis slumps near the aft as to avoid any gunfire. He looks up with a skeptical squint at the two... That's squint.
Yeah,
not
with a T.
not
Yeah,
squint.
I heard that one, yeah.
Squint at the two strange men who tipped him off and convinced him to make this counteroffensive in this inclement weather. Oblivious to their audience, Marv stops rowing and blows breath into his cupped hands, gloves soaked through. "Hey, Harry, look! We're the wet bandits again!" Harry stops rowing and makes a sour face, looking over at his partner in crime and says, "Marv, did you stop rowing just to tell us something that stupid?" No, I was just cold." Harry whips his hat off and swats Marv with it several times, saying, "Dear, does that warm you up?" Then he shoves it back over his own chilly head. "No, actually, get back to rowing." Marv does as he is told. Harry smiles and, himself, does not resume rowing. He meets Cornwallis's gaze. "And what are you looking at, King Charles?" "Do not address me so." Again, Harry makes the sour face. "Address? Buddy, I don't give a priority posted fuck where you live. Just where you think you're going to live. Don't fuck up my country." Cornwallis is about to snap back at this disrespectful crook, but they are both silenced by men announcing their imminent landing on the enemy shore. The boats shove up onto the bank with an eerie hiss. Brits, Hessians, and wet bandits pour overboard to pull the boats farther up the riverbank before creeping inland past the longboats set up upturned on blocks by the Americans, with branches for camouflage tossed over them. They pay them little heed, expecting they would be there. They pass into the trees towards the enemy campsite. The camp is raucous, as if they do not care about being discovered, so sure they will be the attackers, not the attacked. Suddenly, a rake flips up out of the underbrush, slapping a Hessian right in the face. Then another soldier flips, flying out from under him, and lands on his back, sending marble-sized musket balls rolling all over, almost tripping up others. Harry and Marv twitch Getting a sinking feeling, they stop. Cornwallis storms past them. Marv reaches out a hand to stop him, but Harry swats it down. The man in front of the general trips over a wire, and it goes twang! The men running in behind Cornwallis pass Harry and Marv, only to suddenly drop away as trapdoors swing open. Then Cornwallis and the men next to him fly backwards, knocked into the same pits. Harry and Marv lean in comically to see through the dark, 2 cans of paint swinging back and forth. They look at each other and then run the other direction. Yeah. They dodge around men caught in a net. They run past a man swinging upside down by a rope snare. As they clear the trees, an arrow from a rigged crossbow almost hits them, and would have hit them. And would have hit the trap running the other way. Then the sand beneath them clicks, and their eyes go wide. And then they are spun into the air more violently than the man who slipped. A rope had been stretched between 2 of the outermost trees, pulled taut by horses and Vermin's beloved pony, and secured to a catch.
Oh, perfect.
The wet bandits just tripped that catch, releasing that rope. It sends them flying heels over head several times before it catches the rest of the first wave of approaching troops, square in the gut, lifting them off their feet and flinging them back into the ice-cold river. Sure, those men recover, but they meet the knives and bayonets of the Continental soldiers who roll out from underneath the upturned boats. A groaning Harry and Marv crawl off unnoticed. The second wave of boats begin to cross the river, braving the ice floes. Attentive Hessians are ready, with long oars to shove and break up the large chunks of ice, but they are not perceptive enough. They meet not lumpy forms of ice, but white sheets thrown off of men on rafts, who now leap onto the boats they bumped into. The boarders led by Edward Teach, Blackbeard himself, doing what he does best. "On the jump, me frozen fellows! You aren't just taking their boats, you're taking history! Yar, go, go!" The pirate and his Continental soldiers take those boats, the boats Washington was lacking, downstream to where a larger number of his forces are amassed, waiting to make the crossing at an unsuspected location. Meanwhile, the Allies on the riverbank shove off in the first wave of British boats to follow them. Chapter 9. Lending a Hand. The boy runs out, as planned, to reset some of his traps, and then go join one of the Ally boats heading downstream to relative safety. When he runs splashing out into the shallows, he pauses, paying no heed to the men in the boats ushering him on. He looks back at the ton, issuing commands. And then, not according to plan, the boy chooses to stay, to watch the fun. He helps push out the boat, and then doesn't climb in, wishing them good luck! The third wave of enemy boats are already on their way across. Aware now that something is going on, several of them stick closer together. A good plan for clearing through the ice and repelling boarders, but an even better thing for the boys' well-laid plans. "Mr. Brahe," Washington calls out to the Dane preparing a catapult they had built the night before, and points to the cluster of boats. "There is your mark." Tico busies himself with some arched triangle device, doing some last calculations. Meticulously slow and careful, the catapult is positioned to his instruction, and then they pause. The boats advance. After what seems like too long of a wait, the command is given, and the catapult swings and lets fly its ammo of football size and proportion. Hitting the lead boat, no damage is done. In fact, the projectile is what shatters, loosing 100 angry bees upon the boat, and soon swarming onto the other boats as well.
Oh, boy.
The boy could see the Hessians waving and jumping, and the boats rocking like mad. One man even fires off a shot, and one by one they all leap overboard. The abandoned boats drift downstream to join Washington's collection. Men there stand by with improvised devices using coal and bellows to smoke out the lingering bees. Too much of the boys' attention is on this event. A few enemy boats approach the riverbank, the lead carrying something big, wrapped up with tarps. Climbing up atop it is a very short man in a brand new pointed Hessian hat. Randall, the time bandit. Sashed in a folded British flag that ripples in the breeze, he reaches into said fabric and pulls out something. A muzzle flash with a report startles the boy, and the mud at his feet pops and splatters his face. The boy turns to run, but is clotheslined by rope, his own spent trap.
Oh no.
He lands in the mud, what little air in his lungs knocked out. Discombobulated, but used to acting under pressure, the boy reaches for the first thing he sees and grabs the taut rope. He removes his soaked jacket, slings it around the rope, and starts pulling it back, slipping on his butt in the mud. He continues pushing himself back, though, kicking his feet out, pushing back, heels digging in, moving as far back as he can manage, the tension actually lifting him off the ground into a floating, sitting position. Oblivious to what the boy holds, Randall gloats from atop his cargo. "That's right, boy! Back away! Hurry off! You can't stop what's coming!" Ironically, then, Randall is flung as the rope the boy releases sends his wet jacket flying over top of the boat, swiftly moving in the opposite direction. The boat crashes onto the shore, the muddy bank, and slides up between the boy's legs, stopping just short of his crotch. "Whoa!" says the boy. He jumps to his feet, looking past the boat into the cold river waters where Randall is splashing about. The boy purses his face and gloats. "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal!"
Oh,
Perfect.
But his joke turns to a yell as the tarp in the boat strings and ropes snap, and the covers pull away to reveal the thing underneath. Just as derpy and colorful as the painting of it in the museum was, the ridiculous T-Rex steps out, its teeth just as sharp as depicted.
Oh, fuck.
The boy slaps his hands to his cheeks and screams.
This is like the thing that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So yeah, the boy slaps his hands to his cheeks and screams. The Rex screams right back, blowing the boy's hat off. The boy turns to flee.
His hat?
Yeah.
Was it a pinwheel hat?
No. No, it's the little like fuzzball one that he wears
okay,
from Home Alone 2.
Okay. I'm there. I visualize it.
Yeah.
The little danglies by the ears, right?
Yep. The boy turns to flee a moment too late. It is upon him in two large steps. The boy trips over an oar, falling and rolling over to see his doom. He thrusts out his arms in reflex and screams again, against his oncoming fate. Then Washington is there. "Kevin!" he yells, grabbing the boy under his arms and dragging. Sliding away right as the dinosaur chomps down, the boy is pulled out of the jaws of death. George falls back, hugging the boy to his chest, and rolls under an upturned longboat, and then out the other side. He pushes up off the mud. The boy underneath him groans, grimaces, and squints up disoriented. "You did good, son," Washington says, trying to keep his spirits up. "Your traps were great." "Thanks, Dad." "But now we have to run," Washington finishes. But the boy's eyes close. The ground shakes. Recovering swiftly up on one knee, then pulling the boy up with a grunt of exertion, the ton does not stop. With the boy in his arms, he runs. The Rex stomps down on that upturned boat, splitting it twain, splinters flying. Tico loads a rock into the catapult and attempts to push it around to turn the ancient artillery towards the threat. Lance grabs him by the arm, though, and says, "What are you doing? Are you crazy?" "We have to help them," Tico says. "All that will do is bring it bearing down upon us," Lance protests. Ty looks conflicted. Soldiers open fire, drawing the bug-eyed ire of the terrible lizard off of the fleeing pair. "See?" Lance says, and pulls Tico away into the tent. Roaring, the Rex charges the line of troops, firing at it from behind another boat. One sweep of its massive tail sends that boat rolling over the men, their screams being squelched down in the mud with them. The Anachronauts in the tent quietly cheer, "The ton!" as he hobbles over with the boy. But their praise catches in their throats when they sense something is wrong. The boy is not moving.
Oh no.
Washington makes it into the tent with the unconscious boy and brings him to a table. After Tico and Vermin tip it to clear its contents onto the floor, then right it again, the boy is set down upon it. "What is wrong?" says Ty. Peeking out from the tent flaps they just came through, Lance says, "You mean besides the goddamn dinosaur Jurassic Parking itself through the Continental Army out there?"
It's a reference no one gets.
Exactly. The The boy, grunts Vermin. That's what I mean. Is Kevin all right? Ty says. Soaked through and dripping, Blackbeard sloshes in past Lance. You're seeing this? Then he sees the table and sees what's upon it. Avast, what be wrong? The boy, Vermin echoes. George pulls out his knife, sending a jump of surprise through all in the tent. Drop your sails, mate, Edward says, stroking his beard, ready at any moment to pull a deck nail shiv that he has secreted within the bushy facial hair.
That's smart.
Nice.
He doesn't need to, though. Washington merely holds the knife out, blade sideways, and it fogs up in front of the boy's mouth. He's breathing, he says, sheathing the weapon. Ty is about to ask something more, but is cut off by George pulling up the boy's bloody arm to reveal it's missing a hand.
Oh, fuck.
Stump squirting a gout of blood. Oh, is all he says instead. It is him, Vermin proclaims, citing Da Vinci's prophecy of a one-handed boy.
Heyo!
And then he goes rummaging through his bag. Unfazed by all manner of battlefield injury, Blackbeard snaps into action, whips off one of his belts to wrap and tighten it around the boy's wrist. You can't give him a tourniquet, Lance says. The Boy Scout handbook says a tourniquet is bad because... But the pirate interrupts. Need to stench the bleeding. Tycho says, what do scouting boys know about medicine? Mr. Washington, do you know of any bog where one might procure some leeches? But a tourniquet could cause the loss of the limb, Lance presses.
Hand's gone.
Yeah. In answer, Edward holds out the bloody belt-wrapped nub where the hand used to be. Oh, yeah, Lance says. I think I know a bit more about losing limbs than ye do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Limb, says Vermin, holding out the Da Vinci prosthetic hand and harness. Edward and Ty exchange a look and shrug. Really, we ought to let it heal before we put that on, concludes Edward. Ignoring their conversation, Washington busies himself, loading his pistol with powder and packing, but no bullet. From the door of the tent, Lance says, guys, that thing has run out of troops to chomp and is sniffing its way back this direction. Vermin and Ty make eye contact now and say, it's time. Edward says, will it work without the boy awake? Ty says, I don't know if it will work at all. It's supposed to function off the built-up potential of the holders. Washington, ignoring them, pours a pile of gray powder out of a flask onto the table. Yar, but what of the previous holder? Edward says. Their potential, they held it for a time. I don't know how this works, says Ty. Now or never, says Vermin. Pass or fail, the boy or not. The men reach for the boy's arm. Wait, shouts the Tun. Then he sets the boy's bleeding wrist in the pile of powder and fires the unloaded pistol into it. The powder goes up in a thunderous flare that cauterizes the wound and flashbangs all around it. All except the boy, who wakes up screaming like he just slapped aftershave on. Looking at where his hand once was, in wide-eyed horror, he inhales, then screams more.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That tracks.
Missing the first few times, Ty grabs the boy's flailing wrist and slams the prosthetic hand onto it, pulling one strap tight before slamming the hand back onto the table, yelling, Hand of Vitruvian! Then, reaching up to his nose and pulling his own prosthetic off, strap snapping, Tico straps it down into the palm of the boy's new hand and yells, Nose of Vitruvian! Edward slams his now detached leg up onto the table and growls, Vitruvian sonic leg! All the while, the boy screams. Outside, the Rex roars. Vermin fixes George Washington with a stare and demands, Teeth of Vitruvian. Without dally or argument, the Tun adds his popped-out dentures to the pile. All but the screaming boy turn to look at Lance, expectant. Lance says, nuts. And he thrusts a hand into his stretchy pants and fiddles around, coming out holding his prosthetic testicle. He closes his hand around it and blows into it as if he holds a lucky dice. Then he tosses the nut across the table like a seasoned craps player looking for that win. The prosthetic bounces and rolls and then falls aim true into the pile into Washington's dentures. George grimaces in disgust. Everyone else catches their breath in anticipation of what all this means. But nothing happens. Just a pile of prosthetics. Lance leans forward and peeks across the table and says, "So, is anything supposed to actually..." Then the tent explodes. Yep. Sending all inside flying, crashing into the brush around with miraculously few injuries. There, where the tent had been, long, flowing hair blowing in the breeze, fierce eyes opening, steam rising from his well-toned muscles. Just a perfect specimen of a buff man. And in the buff, just completely naked, that is, just like Da Vinci's sketch, there stands the Vitruvian Man.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh,
well, wait, where's that fanfare coming from? Do you guys hear that? To be continued.
Hold on.
The boy will return in Vitruvian, Episode 3, Him and the Anachronisms, Part 3 of 2, or Neo Genesis Americana 3.33, You Cannot Revision, or the Vitruvian Christmas Special, Part 2, A Whole New Year.
Hold on, I see a post-credit scene there on your script there. Oh shit! The Vitruvian Man looks to the camera and says,
"Merry Christmas, you filthy fucking animals."
Finn. Oh my god, what a fucking tale that was. I've been waiting for that one for... When was the last time we...
The last time I read was, like, shortly after Christmas, because this was originally written for Christmas.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
I'm still waiting for that part 3 of 2, but holy fucking shit, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, that was great.
Or how I learned to stop worrying and love the body.
Oh my fucking lord, how am I gonna follow that up? I know.
Does your story also feature the ton?
It does not, unfortunately.
You know, I considered giving him Duke Nukem's voice, but my voice is already going from reading that, and it would have destroyed me.
Yeah, I can imagine. All those voices, especially for how long it was, that was fucking incredible. All right.
It is shortly less long than the other story that I read.
It was excellent.
All right, wonderful tale. Thank
Liam,
you for...
Liam, how you doing over there?
It was excellent. Just delightful.
Good.
Finally, the Vitruvian Man emerges from the Voltron pile of prosthetics.
Dude,
absolutely love it.
When years ago, not years, a year ago, when we were doing the writing group prompts for The Boy, and I was like thinking of what kind of nonsense story I could tell. I had a idea for a story written down loosely as, what if people from history that all are famous for missing a body part had their body parts, their prosthetics, summon forth like a Captain Planet type figure. And I was like, now how do I write time travel Captain Planet? And then I was like, Kevin McAllister!
Yeah, of course. No, Kevin from Time Bandits, of course.
I love that you had that concept sitting as the central piece of this from the beginning, and we finally get to realize it.
Yeah.
Because you've been walking through these stories for the last year at this point, of the writing club. So, yeah, this is great.
All 2 of them, yeah.
It was originally 3, because the first one I read on your episode was actually the first 2 that I read, or that I submitted for writing group. Yeah.
You have gone through, this is like one story that you had just done in 2 parts.
Yeah.
It's like the original version was like 30 fucking pages, and it ended there with the Vitruvian. Post-credit scene's new, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then I have more thought up, but have not put pen to paper on it.
Once the prompts line up.
I don't know. That's the thing, is I'm waiting for prompts to inspire me. I'm just so ready for a buff naked man to fight a T-Rex.
Oh, fuck yeah. No, that's gonna be fucking amazing. That's gonna be so fucking cool. It's gonna be like 3 pages long. He punched him and he died. Yeah. time was saved.
I have come here to save time and kick ass.
And I'm all out of ass. All right. All right, in true Wizard Hang fashion, I got last. And by last, I mean last.
You do this to yourself.
I like going
last.
last.
The order.
I like going last. Yeah, no.
You can't bemoan it, though, if you're the one making the decision.
I'm here. I've got the paper towels. I'm cleaning up after everybody. I'm being courteous. This is my show. And so my story of immortals and diseased growths is called Big Trouble in Little Lask.
Another movie reference.
Yeah. It was just another lazy Saturday afternoon in the mythical realm of upstate New York.
Ah, I know it well.
The bright shining sun beamed from a perfectly clear cyan sky, with nary a cloud to be seen. It was a beautiful day for a bike ride, or a game of catch, or something of the like.
You gotta put that Rossini song in the background.
Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah, exactly. That song's playing, yeah. With the flute. As such, the joyful sound of children playing outside could not be heard, for this story takes place in modern day, and all the kids were inside with their Xboxes and TikToks instead. And that's TikTok, TICKTOCK.
Yeah, we don't want to get sued.
Exactly, very legally distinct. Indeed, dear listener, all was as it should be this fine afternoon, as we do a flyover establishing shot up a picturesque cul-de-sac lined with perfectly manicured lawns and houses painted in one of 4 HOA-approved colors. Piss yellow, puke green, booty hole brown, or white.
What about bleach pink?
No, they struck that from the record.
All right.
last June, yeah. The camera panned down and zoomed in on a nondescript white house nestled comfortably in the center of this suburban hellscape, then crossfaded to the off-white interior of the Lask family living room. Mrs. Lask sat on the sofa watching TV while noodling on her guitar, playing the absolute worst rendition of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd you could possibly imagine, as a certain man of science ambled into the room. The studio audience cheered and applauded the arrival of Dr. Lask, with his bald head, 5 o'clock shadow, round-rimmed spectacles, and lab coat stained with all sorts of black splotches for 45 straight seconds. So he stood there, nodding his head, waiting for the applause to die down before greeting his beloved wife at long last.
Hey there, honey. What are you watching there?
Oh, it's this new HBO series about a man who could not cope with his own mortality, so he becomes immortal and cannot cope with his immortality, but really is just bored and wanted to say something absurd.
How oddly specific.
We'll peel back the curtain. That whole thing that Mrs. Lask just said was the original prompt.
Yeah, we did not want to.
And we shortened it to Immortals instead.
How oddly specific.
So she's watching the biography on Dr. Manhattan, right?
Exactly, yeah. Dr. Lask Hatton.
Anyway, I just remembered that our beloved fan-favorite device, Tin Man, was transported to another dimension a few months ago. I'm heading over to my secret lab to figure out how to bring him home, and I won't rest until I do. Don't wait up.
Oh, all right, dear. Good luck with that. Drive safe. I love you.
I love you too, honey. See you later.
I grow tired of these Xboxes.
Yeah.
Their loading screens.
They're loading.
Kids with their social media platform based on clock.
Yeah. The Laskmobile, a 2004 gray Toyota Corolla, roared to life as the good doctor turned his key in the ignition.
Very dependable.
Very dependable car. Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers Band began to play from the vehicle's speakers as he pulled out from his driveway and cruised down to his place of employment, O.J. Simpson Middle School.
It is rather unfortunate they named it that. No matter. I've got work to do.
That was back when he had like a promising movie career.
Yeah, no, they named it that before the big oopsie happened.
Well, isn't this the universe where O.J. Simpson's just a really good guy?
No, this is real life. This is the actual O.J. Orc J. Simpson from Yerksland is the good one.
White stallion.
With his white stallion named Ford. Dr. Lask parked his vehicle and ventured into the unlocked school building, thoughts of experiments and hypotheses dancing in his head. He traversed those unoccupied hallways and ballways until he came upon his special locker. The one he presently opened to reveal a hole in the floor and a fireman's pole leading down, 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 forever down to the unsanctioned laboratory he had built underneath the school. Once inside, he clapped his hands twice, activating the sound-sensitive Rube Goldberg machine he had set up to turn on the lights. After nearly 5 minutes of domino chains, balls rolling down tracks, pulleys and levers and other intricate bullshit, a skateboard carrying a prosthetic hand on a stick rolled across the lab and flipped the light switch located right next to where the good doctor stood. We both got a prosthetic hand. Look at that fucking mind link.
Well, that really saved a lot of time.
Also, I forgot about this part.
The Rube Goldberg, he's just waiting. He's just standing there in the dark, waiting for the lights to turn on. Like, you hear dominoes, balls rolling, and...
I want an after credits blooper where he's standing waiting for it to come on, but something broke.
Yeah, like one of the dominoes is offline.
He's just sitting there in pitch black waiting for it.
Yeah, it's been like 6.5 minutes. Shouldn't take this long.
All right. The fluorescent bulbs whirred to life, illuminating the space whilst giving off their characteristic hum, as Dr. Lask spent the next 3 hours resetting the Rube Goldberg machine he had just set off.
This man understands time savings.
That still is my favorite detail of this story.
The Rube Goldberg machines?
You have a device that takes longer to set up than to flip a switch.
All right, what the hell was I doing again? All right, Tin Man.
We pan over to an analog clock on the wall, which currently reads 4:20 p.m. Then we crossfade to a shot of the same clock that now reads 7:10 p.m.
I know who's getting crossfaded then.
The good doctor... Yeah, we're getting crossfaded already. You got that...
Right. No.
The good doctor sat at his desk, poring over books, schematics, notes, Reddit.com forums, and a DVD box set of Rick and Morty. He ran through his calculations forwards and backwards, this way and that. Presently, he was at the end of his rope, having explored just about every avenue, every option, every possible thread he could grasp at. All except one.
But what if? No, that's absurd. There's no way it could work. Unless...
We pan back over to the clock and crossfade until it reads 6:09 a.m. Dr. Lask had been up all night perfecting his machine, his device, his only hope of retrieving his most prized creation. He tightened one final bolt, wiped the sweat from his brow, then sighed the sigh of a man who had just spent the last 14 hours inventing an interdimensional teleporter.
Oh, we all know that feeling. Yeah.
That feeling that we all experience in our day-to-day.
The common experience of inventing an interdimensional teleporter. I just had that
We've all invented one in our day, yeah.
The problem is, I do get that feeling, but then the interdimensional teleporter causes a rift through time-space.
A little time vortex, if you will, yeah.
That makes it invent itself and me forget about it.
Yeah.
That happens on a daily basis. Any of those moments... Any of you neurospicy people out there? Any of those moments where you pause and go, "Wait, what the fuck was I doing?" That's a time vortex.
Yeah.
That adventure of you inventing a time machine happened and got erased in that second, and then you were like, "Wait, what?"
Time vortex.
That's true. That happens every other week for me. The device was magnificent. A large cylindrical tube of chrome and glass and blinking blue lights that nearly reached the ceiling of the good doctor's secret lab. Matching bright white panels on the floor and ceiling of the tube's interior shone softly, signaling where to stand when the device was activated. And so Dr. Lask placed a Granny Smith apple on the floor panel inside the device, crossed his fingies, and pressed the big red teleport to another dimension button on the console.
Well, that's handy.
And lo, he watched in awe in awe and excitement as the apple was enveloped in a column of blinding white light. Excitement which quickly gave way to disappointment as the light dispersed and the apple remained.
Fuck! 14 hours of my life wasted!
Stomach growl.mp3.
Oh my science, I sure am hungry.
Me too.
Yeah. He eyed the apple sitting unceremoniously He eyed the apple sitting unceremoniously inside the teleporter.
Don't do it.
And hatched his next plan. He stepped inside the device, retrieved the inconspicuous fruit, and took a bite. He chomped, and he chewed, and he swallowed the morsel in his clutches, savoring every bite, licking his lips as the apple's tart, tangy juices dribbled down his chin.
Wow, that was the most delicious apple I've ever eaten. You know what they say about one of these a day. Yawn. Boy, am I tired. That all-nighter really took a toll on me. Yawn even louder. Wow, I need to take a quick disco nap to set my mind straight. And it's back to the drawing board.
Hey, real quick. In the movie The Fly,
Mm-hmm.
right, Jeff Goldblum climbs into a teleporter and a fly flies in with him, and then at the other side of the teleporter, they're like spliced together.
Yeah.
What if you had breakfast that morning? Wouldn't you get like blended with whatever was in your stomach? Wouldn't you come out like a scrambled egg man?
Yeah, that's the sequel, the sausage egg biscuit.
Write that down. Save that. Save that for a trivia, man. The room began to spin as Dr. Lass stumbled over to the cot he had set up down here in the lab. He nearly tripped over his prized skateboard with a prosthetic hand on it as he struggled to stay upright.
Look, if I had one of those, it would be prized as well.
Yeah. But soon enough, he arrived at the cot and collapsed into it, out cold before his head even hit the pillow. He awoke many hours later in a daze. He eyed the clock, which read 3:30, but he wasn't sure if it was AM or PM, what with it being an analog clock and all. His lab had no window, so there was no way to tell for sure. He checked his phone, but was horrified to discover that it was now Tuesday afternoon. And what's more, a litany of missed calls and texts from all manner of folk awaited him. From his wife, concerned that he hadn't come home in days. From his sons, who were equally worried. From some random spam caller in a hut somewhere. From his boss, Superintendent Chalmers, pissed that he didn't show up to teach chemistry to his students. And from his nephew Charlie, who texted him the word ant and nothing else.
What a callback!
Oh boy. Looks like I've got some explaining to do.
I'll say, you've been knocked out for days.
Ah, who's there?
Oh, where are my manners? I am the diseased growth that is formed out on the base of your neck. You can call me Little Lask.
R.I.P. your voice.
Ding!
I'm fine. The good doctor felt up his own neck and discovered the growth in question. Horrified, he opened the phone's camera app to get a better view of this so-called Little Lask. And there it was, a big fucking lump on the base of his neck with a mouth, an eyeball, and 3 strands of black curly hair.
How? Why? What are you? Where did you come from?
I'm not sure myself. My working hypothesis is that it has something to do with that irradiated apple you ate. It's so nice to formally meet you, Larry.
What did you just call me?
Larry, that's your first name.
Only my mother ever called me that, and she's been dead for over 20 years. How could you possibly know my deepest, darkest secret?
I was born of your flesh, Larry, so I know everything there is to know about you. Every memory, every regret, everything that makes you, you. Ain't I a stinker?
You're an abomination is what you are. Now please be quiet. I need to make a few phone calls and let everyone know I'm all right. You should know just as well as I do that I'll never hear the end of it if anyone finds out that I have a sentient growth on my neck.
You got it, dude.
Whoosh transition 2. After clearing things up with his wife, his boss, his nephew, and the kind Kazakhstani man who wanted to help Dr. Lask with his car's extended warranty, the good doctor had returned to his abode, much to the delight of his loving family. He now wore a tacky plaid scarf around his neck to hide the diseased growth that had since taken up residence on his person.
That's not sus at all.
Not sus at all. It's just a fashion statement.
Just never has worn that ever.
Yeah, never in his life.
Suddenly just, yeah, I'm trying this out.
Ah, yeah, it's a new outfit.
Presently, the whole Lask family sat at the dinner table, Dr. and Mrs. Lask, as well as their 2 adult sons, Andrew and Lawrence, enjoying a nice home-cooked TV dinner prepared by the household matriarch herself.
Well-cooked television.
Oh, Dr. Lask, we were all so worried about you. It's not like you to ignore all calls and texts from your family for days on end. What happened to you, my beloved husband?
I mean, is it though? I feel like he probably does that a lot.
He does it every day.
I totally picture the wife looking like a Gendy Tartanovsky drawn, like something from Powerpuff Girls. Or,
exactly.
Samurai Jack.
Like the mom from Dexter's Lab.
Yeah.
tiny points as feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, tiny points, and then like the camera pans up to like her collarbone. You never see her face.
And when she walks, it makes a little twinkling sound.
Yeah, and her arms are draped down like T-Rex.
Always
arms.
wearing rubber gloves.
Also, very
Always wearing
thick.
rubber gloves.
Yeah, very needlessly. I think they're very needed.
I had bad reception down in the secret lab. Yeah, no windows either, so I lost track of time.
Well, we're just glad you're all right, Dad. Maybe next time you could take a break from your experiments to answer the fucking phone, though.
Andrew, language!
Mom, I'm 34 years old. I can swear if I want to. And given the circumstances, I'd say it's warranted. Who do you want to be? Lawrence? Dr. Last's other son?
Wait, where is it?
This guy right here.
Andrew's right. We have jobs and wives and kids of our own now. Dropping everything to rush here over nothing was not how I was planning on spending my Tuesday. We thought you were dead.
I know. My boss is pretty miffed about all this too, but I can assure you that everything is A-okay. I just got a little carried away is all. I'm sorry.
So what's the deal with the scarf? That thing's a total eyesore.
Andrew, language!
I didn't even swear that time.
Oh, this? I just thought it was rather chilly in here, yeah.
It's 68 degrees out.
Well, boys, I appreciate you both checking up on your mother and I, but I'd say it's time the 2 of you head back home. Gotta beat that rush hour traffic, if you know what I mean.
Are you sure you're all right, Dad? You're really not acting like yourself tonight.
Andrew, language!
Shut the fuck up, Mom!
That's better!
I appreciate your concern, Andrew, but I just need to get some rest. I've got a lot of catching up to do at work tomorrow, and I'm sure you both do too.
Actually, yeah, I do. Really not looking forward to the 5-hour car ride ahead of me, but I'm glad you're all right, Dad. You really had us worried for a second there. Take care.
Good night, Lawrence.
Good night, guys. I love you.
We love you too, Andrew.
Squid, that performance was so understated.
When both of the Lask boys had finally absconded from the scene, the good doctor stood from his seat at the head of the table and made his way to the master bathroom. He locked the door behind him, flipped on the lights, and removed his scarf, only to find that little Lask had grown substantially. Since he had last seen it, the growth had nearly doubled in size and grown another eyeball, 2 ears, and a nose to boot. The face that greeted him now very closely resembled that of the good doctor, the one who struggled to keep his composure as he looked upon this abomination growing from his own flesh.
Peekaboo!
Nikola H. Tesla, you're massive!
That's what she said!
Now is not the time for gaffes, little Lask. If you get much bigger, you'll crush my windpipe. We gotta put our heads together and think of a solution before. Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, Dr. Lask, is everything all right in there?
Everything's fine. I'm just, having a fake argument with myself, yeah.
Take your clothes off! I'll be out for sexy time in a moment!
Little Lask, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, honey, you haven't talked to me like that since our honeymoon. All right, dear, I'm assuming the position now, hard emoticon. Getting us laid. Now put that scarf back on, Playboy. It's showtime.
Then the two Lasks both looked at the camera and winked simultaneously. The following morning, Dr. Lass drove to O.J. Simpson Middle School with a smile on his face and a scarf barely covering the balloon-sized sentient growth on his neck. I Just Had Sex by The Lonely Island played from the Corolla speakers as both Lasks sung along in perfect harmony.
You know, little Lask, we may not have started off on the best terms, but I've got to say, you are one swell little guy. What do you say after school today we get you your own body? Then we can fix the teleporter together as partners.
Yippee!
After 8 long periods of science lessons, fake explanations as to what the balloon-sized lump on his neck was, and the like, the good doctor and his diseased growth retreated down into the secret lab. Throughout the course of the day, little Lask had grown an arm and a leg, and his 3 hairs had fallen out.
Now, little Lask, the time is nigh for us to separate. Thankfully, I have already invented a device that can perform the procedure autonomously.
How forward-thinking of you to invent such a device, my friend. Let's see it.
The good doctor clapped his hands 3 times, which activated a different Rube Goldberg machine which was designed to pull a sheet off the device in question. And lo, after nearly 5 minutes of stilted silence between the 2 Lasks, the sheet was lifted and the device wheeled itself forward. It was little more than a mechanical arm on tank treads, whose databanks were loaded with all sorts of medical procedures, including the very one needed at this juncture. Very convenient.
Greetings, Dr. Lask. How may I be of service to you?
Oh, what's up, Doc?
The robot's name is Doc, D-O-C.
What's up, Doc? I just need this diseased growth removed from my neck without damaging it or myself.
Understood. Activating diseased growth removal protocols now. Please lay on the operating table so I may begin with the procedure.
It's so amazing watching you do that. Like, I understand how it works.
You've done it
I know,
briefly. You did it for like a second.
But it's like uncanny when you do it.
Yeah, no, you just see it come out of a human's lips. It's fucking it's creepy. Dr. Lask obeyed, lying on the cold metallic table with his balloon-sized friend in tow. He reached up to hold little Lask's hand, interlacing fingies with his as Doc lowered anesthetic gas masks onto each of their faces.
See you on the other side, friend.
Not if I see you first.
13 hours had passed by the time the procedure was complete. Presently, both Lasks awoke as separate beings. Little Lask had even grown substantially while they were out, now standing a full 3 feet tall with 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 testicle, and a penis of his own.
Also 1 testicle. Yeah. What the hell? What is this?
So much
mind link.
Yeah.
The procedure was a complete success, Dr. Lask. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Reset the Rube Goldberg machine and then cover yourself with your sheet.
Understood. I shall do so expeditiously.
The device wheeled itself around the lab, carefully resetting all the dominoes and balls and shit while the 2 Lasks celebrated their good fortune. Little Lask sounds a lot more like Dr. Lask these days.
Oh, Larry, this is just grand! Think of all the activities we can do together now!
We pan up to a thought bubble directly above Little Lask's ponderous head, which contained a montage of both Lasks inventing new devices, sledding down a large snowy hill, sharing 1 milkshake with 2 straws, tag-teaming the good doctor's wife, and other wholesome activities.
I just want to say, you wrote this before Sonic 3 came out.
Did I?
There's a scene in Sonic 3 just like this.
What, where the camera pans to a thought bubble? What, the two Eggmans? Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik and his, like,
uncle or some shit.
Yeah.
Where they tag team his wife, yeah.
They stole that from me.
Yeah, no,
You haven't even read this on the podcast yet, and they stole it from
Where are my fucking royalties, Ben Schwartz and co? Come on, man.
Come on, you act like that was Ben Schwartz and company. That was entirely Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bubble was burst abruptly as the good doctor checked his phone to see that it was 4:03 a.m. and he had missed approximately 17 calls from his wife.
Ah, shit. It's 4 a.m. again. The wife must be pissed. Listen, little buddy, I need to get home and let her know I'm all right. Why don't you stay here in the lab for the time being and make yourself at home? What? Stay here? Why can't I come home with you? Little Lask, nobody can know that you exist. As much as I would love to bring you home with me, cloning oneself is against international law. The government would try and take you away from me, just like they did with that poor innocent Peanut the squirrel. Surely you understand.
How dare you remind me of that?
I understand, Larry. Good. There's plenty of snacks and pre-processed goodies in the mini-fridge for you. Help yourself. I'll come back down for you later. I'll be sure to bring more food and a burner phone for you so we can always be in contact. Then we can work on the teleporter together. See you in about 11 hours. Bye-bye.
We pan up to the clock on the wall and crossfade to it reading 3:30 p.m. Dr. Lask returned to the lab with the food and a cell phone for his diseased growth turned real boy, Little Lask. The one who was no longer little at all, for now he stood fully formed, identical to the good doctor in every way, including in number of testicles. For now there were 2. He's still naked, though.
Mm-hmm.
My Little Lask, look how big you've gotten. I trust everything has been to your liking down here? Oh, very much so. I even had time to do some research of my own on the teleporter. I think I figured out why the original device failed as well. Oh, why, that's fantastic. What was the issue?
I'm sure everyone following along at home knows exactly which Lask is which at this point. They sound... The 2 Lasks spent the next 12 hours comparing notes, chowing down on pre-processed lunchly meal packs, and making the necessary repairs to the teleportation device. The solution was rather simple, if your name was Dr. Lask, that is. As a layman myself, I have no fucking clue what they did to make it work. But by George, make it work they did. Presently, the pair of identical Lasks stood shoulder to shoulder, grinning madly as they laid eyes upon the completed device. Though it appeared no different than it did before, the duo were confident that this iteration was very much different indeed. Case in point, when the good doctor placed a Granny Smith apple into the device and pressed the button, it did not remain inside the tube once the light had dispersed. And both Lasks say simultaneously, "Eureka!" I'll overlay that and have it say twice. They hugged and hopped around in circles in their reverie, not at all concerned that it was currently 3:34 a.m. and that Mrs. Laskwood was worried sick about her husband yet again. It's a common theme.
Little Lask, Little Lask, my esteemed colleague. Even though you're only a few days old, I feel like I've known you my whole life. You know, now that we look identical, I was thinking that we could perhaps take turns down here in the lab instead of keeping you cooped up in here all the time.
Little Lask, his eyes turn yellow as he turns to the camera and says,
"There can only be one."
Bum, bum, bum.
I beg your pardon? Whoa!
And lo, Little Lask shoved the good doctor into the device of their own design and shut the panel, trapping him inside as he pressed the big red teleport to another dimension button on the console.
Oh, that's convenient.
Though
That's a lot of words for a button.
very small font.
I can't quite read what font that is, but I hope that's the right one.
Comic Sans.
Yeah. Though Dr. Lask screamed and banged on the device's interior like a man betrayed by his own perfect copy,
Oh,
he was unable to
just
stop
like
his
that.
treacherous perfect copy's devious plot. For a moment, he was enveloped in a blinding white flash of light, and in the next, he was gone, whisked off to another dimension by that resplendent glow. All while Little Lask turned to the camera and let loose a hearty guffaw. His irises now glow. I forgot I put this in here. His iris is now glowing a bright neon yellow as his howling laughter set off a Rube Goldberg machine that played a lightning crashing sound effect for added effect. I forgot I put the...
It has to be the big metal sheet that you shake.
Yeah.
The lightning
I
sound.
forgot I put the yellow light, the yellow eyes in here because I said it earlier as an ad lib.
Uh-huh.
It's been a while since I wrote this. Finn. But wait, there's a post-credit scene. Dr. Lask awoke in a setting wholly unfamiliar to him. As he sat upright and gained his bearings, he was confused to find himself in a grassy clearing in the middle of a forest. Birds chirped, deer pranced about, typical foresty type shit for sure. He stood and scratched his chin inquisitively as he spotted a wooden sign staked into the dirt that read, Welcome to Ashtown. Population 69, but 69's crossed out, and it says 1 in big red text.
It does, on the document.
Yeah, on the document. The font is red.
It's a big red 1.
You may remember that sign from last time, previously on the Wizard Scroll.
Hey, I know that place.
Soon, he found himself wandering through a dilapidated ghost town of disheveled hovels and unkempt vegetation. By his assertion, he deduced that nobody had lived here for a very long time, at least 3 seasons.
So you're saying it's nicer than New Jersey?
Yeah, at least. It was at this point that the good doctor had noticed the colossal spire of brown and ebony granite looming ominously nearby, the one which stood taller than any of the pines, oaks, and ash trees that encompassed the forest. He figured that perhaps he could gain a nice vantage point from the top of that there's tower, so he walked over to it and tried the front door. Locked.
Hello? Is anybody in there? I have no idea where I am and I need help.
After a moment of silence, the good doctor was stunned into inaction as the door creaked open. And lo, out walked a withered old man in a teal wizard robe and pointy hat, leaning on a gnarled wooden staff with an opalescent glowing orb nestled atop it.
Hey, I know that guy.
I've been expecting you. Come, we have much to discuss.
There we go.
Yeah. That was the guy.
The guy.
The guy, you know the one. Who lives in a tower with a wizard hat.
Who lives in a tower with a wizard hat?
As the wise.
Yeah, I guess as Taz would be better than what we just did.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll fix it in post.
We won't.
We won't. Denny, sponsor us.
I was wondering if we were going to slip one of those.
No, every episode we get that.
Love it.
Yeah, so that was the story. We fucking, we're setting, all of us have like ended in such monumental cliffhangers, all 3 of us.
I mean, mine was less of a cliffhanger and more of a horrible bottom, but yeah.
I wonder what's gonna happen in the next installment. It's just like fucking 5 words. They all blew up. That's 4 words. Finn is the 5th word.
Right, yeah. No. Next week's episode is going to be really
fantastic.
Finn. Yeah. So fuck yeah, that was 3 stories of diseased growths in Immortals.
Yeah, we all hit the prompts.
We did have the prompts in there. That was really fucking fun, yeah.
That was
always a
great.
pleasure having the 2 of you on.
Dude, I love the Dr. Lask series. It's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
It's fun that you've looped it around and connected it.
Yeah.
Um,
Tin Man, fucking Dr. Lask, and fucking now he's there too. I wonder what's gonna happen. They're gonna meet up.
the Tin Man one, the Tin Man one was one of my favorite reveals in one of your stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's revealed that Dr. Lask is his creator.
I'm definitely gonna have to come back on when the prompts align for another installment of the True.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
You're always
and
welcome.
If you eventually get around to the right prompts, I might even bring on some other stories.
Fuck yeah. You're welcome to barge into my house anytime. He just showed up. It's weird. Like, just showed up at my house. He's like, hey, Chris, I'm outside. I'm ready to record.
No, I rolled up into your driveway, knocked over a trash can.
Yeah.
Said, Chris, something's got to be done about your show.
It's Chris, we gotta save time.
Yeah, he wasn't even invited.
Yeah, no, he just showed up. And then Werewolf, you're in my walls still. You've been living in there for a while.
Yeah, there were a lot of fun crossovers.
Yeah, no, a lot of mind link there.
I almost mentioned it too when you said bye George, and I was like, "There's a George in your story."
Oh fuck! I didn't even realize that one. We got George. We got the one testicle. We got this.
Also, you did two
hand.
characters with the same voice, which I've inadvertently done with Vermin and
and Blackbeard. Yeah.
I try not to do the pirate voice when I do Vermin, and it just slips in there sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard to do like a deep voice without slipping into the pirate one.
I've been told,
which is a voice that my girlfriend both loves and hates. Anytime I bring out the pirate voice, she's like, "You're really too good at that."
Arr, baby. Wanna know why me and Roger's so jolly?
Is it because she's afraid she's going to get a good Roger in?
Absolutely.
I've been told that my Azataz and my Dr. Lask sound similar. I'm not sure how.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they're different guys. They have different accents. They're both kind of gruff and.
I guess the proof will be in the pudding when you do the episode with the both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a similar tenor to both voices, but they sound distinct enough that you can understand who they are.
Yeah, when they do have their meetup, their big meetup that I've alluded to here, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a nice voiceovers challenge to get the... Because I feel like if I do all of Dr. Lask in one session and then finish up and then do all of Azataz and then edit it together, that would be easy. But switching between them on the fly in a format like this, that's tricky.
It's almost, you'd almost have to do different takes.
Yeah.
So you could not slip into each other's voices. I introduced a species of character into a D&D game that I was running that didn't all speak this way at first, but I played one of them as a Scottish person, and then my friend played one as a Scottish person, and then suddenly it became canon that they were all Scottish, and so we had several players doing Scottish accents. And now all of us have trouble because we'll just accidentally slip into a Scottish accent when we're trying to do some other accent or some other voice. And it's like infectious.
Let's hear your Scottish then.
All right, then I'll tell you about my Scottish accent now.
Oh my god.
You know, I could have worn my Scottish tam when I came over today, but I didn't want to wear it.
Your Scottish pinwheel hat and your kilt.
Hey, Scottish pinwheel hat, that's where they're from, you know. Scots, famously invented the helicopter.
That's true, yeah. They started small with the hat.
It's a solid fucking accent, lad.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my god. What are you doing in my swamp?
Who's that?
Did you see
Shrek 5?
People are crazy. They're
I
like,
think
oh
it's
my
fine.
god.
I'm not mad about
it.
it.
Looks no fucking different to me.
They look
Maybe
pretty
my
similar.
eyes are broken, but everyone's like, I can't believe they redesigned them. I'm like, he has eyebrows now. That's it.
It's
That's the only difference. Now he can emote better.
It's a very slight redesign. I mean, given you've never seen any of the Shreks beside the first one, so you're not as well versed in the Shrek lore
How did
as
you
some
know
of us.
that?
You mentioned
I told
it.
you that?
You
Okay.
mentioned it last time on Wizard Hang.
Okay, I was wondering.
Roll the
how did
clip.
you-
There was a horse chase in this one.
Sort of. I want like the famous Bronco chase, but with
Actual
his
Bronco.
Ford horse.
His white
Horse named Ford, which is such brilliant wordplay.
Yeah, thank you. I stole that from Shrek 2.
See, I haven't seen Shrek 2, so I didn't know you stole it.
What? You never saw Shrek 2? You've seen every episode of Twilight Zone. You never watched Shrek 2?
I've only seen the first Shrek.
Wow. I mean, you can skip 3. 2 and 4 are very much worth watching.
There's a fourth one? Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. I was just talking to my girlfriend about that today.
I was listening in. I was in your
there?
walls. I was in your walls. Me and Werewolf were having popcorn. We heard everything.
Yeah, no, it's so it's so wild. The internet's reacting like it's the fucking Sonic preview.
Yeah, no,
where the Sonic looked like an abomination, but it literally looks like Shrek.
These woke lib cucks giving everyone eyebrows!
I know they can't. They're not allowed to have eyebrows. It has to look like early stage Toy Story animation forever. We can't update it. No one reacted this way when the Incredibles updated all of their character designs.
They look about the same.
No, Incredibles 2 looks very different.
I mean, like, they
They look better. Don't get me wrong. They look better.
It does look
They
better.
don't look like horrible monstrosities.
It's 10 years of technology.
Yeah,
improvement.
the hair effects are incredibly better, but and the ass effects, but
My favorite video game series.
Exactly. But the fact that they like aged up the characters who now have a daughter. Shrek has a daughter, so that means they've been around for like at least 15 years or whatever, however old the daughter is, and the characters aren't allowed to look any different. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tangent rant over.
I mean, if you were more well versed in the Shrek lore, you'd know that they have 3 kids.
Oh,
In Shrek the Third, Fiona births 3 children.
where are the other 2?
I'm not sure. That's
Donkey eat them?
Donkey ate them. Canon.
Yeah. Well, when
So, yeah.
you saw their faces, he was a believer.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
true. That's facts.
Yeah.
I guess I have to go watch those other movies now.
You got to watch Shrek 2 and Shrek 4.
I mean, have to is strong language.
Those are the ones you have
Not
to watch.
3?
3 is ass.
Wait, which one is Puss in Boots introduced in?
2.
Okay, because I want to watch the Puss in Boots movie.
That's Shrek 2, and then Shrek 4 is really good.
okay.
You can skip 3. You learn nothing. The only
is 3
thing.
the one with the horrible, ugly Rumpelstiltskin or whatever his name is?
No, that's 4.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So I
horrible,
have
ugly.
to watch the horrible, ugly Rumpelstiltskin.
But Shrek 3, the only thing of note that occurs is that Shrek has children. That's the only thing that really is the through line between the 4 films. And that is explained away in like the first 5 minutes of Shrek 4. He's like, oh, wow, Shrek and Fiona are happily married. They have kids now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shrek scientist Chris Bauso,
Yes.
I'm glad you were here to give us a lecture on the history of Shrek.
Because you know, like in the beginning of Shrek 1, where it's like Shrek paints a picture of himself, beware, ogre. And he stakes it in the ground and he's all happy.
Yeah.
Now it's beware ogres and is like a picture of Fiona and then all 3 of the kids like tapped onto the side.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah. So now
what a wild series.
Yeah.
I love how that started off as a punishment for the animators of what was it? Prince of
Persia.
No, not Prince of Persia. Stop. Fucking-
Pixar.
No, the
Prince of
Jesus
Egypt.
movie. Yeah, Prince of Egypt. Thank you.
But yeah, you don't want to work. You're gonna work on Shrek.
No. And it ended up being like a worldwide sensation.
It was so
and
fucking
no one
good.
remembers Prince of Egypt other than for its amazing animation.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a wild story. Like all the animators were like, "Oh yeah, no, if you got in trouble, they would send you to work on Shrek."
That is so fucked. Just knowing how much better Shrek turned out to be.
Yep.
Wow.
That's because the fun people are the ones that get in trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's because all of the good animators got sent to it, right? Like the people who are getting in trouble are always going to be the more creative, more interesting people who are going to put out a more interesting product. Of course, they ended up putting out something great. I'm just surprised that it was able to be released without executives getting jealous and petty and just shitting on it and stopping it from getting released.
Oh, you mean like Star Trek? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's so cool how we're getting so many more seasons of Lower Decks.
No, don't make me feel bad. Don't make me feel my own feelings.
I got no horse in this race. You guys can talk Trek all you want.
Are you not a Trekkie?
No, he's not.
I got no
It's
space horse in this space race.
amazing that like the little circle of podcast fans that we are, he is actually not a part of the M Class like family.
I've listened to a few episodes. I thought it was entertaining, but I didn't understand what they were talking about.
Exactly, it's not much for you unless you watch the shows, which I'm not going to force you to watch Star Trek.
Like
but
I listened to Goosebuds and like I kind of understand what's going on. I've never really read a Goosebumps book
you
aside
don't
from
need
like
to. You really don't.
yeah, no,
need
they're
to.
not good. They're not worth reading.
The choose your own adventures are. The choose like actually even as adults, the choose your own adventures are fun to read because it's like a game of D&D written by a madman. Like the endings will make no sense and you're like, what the fuck? It's someone got high and wrote this. I have no idea how point A leads to point C.
We should do a Wizard Scroll choose your own adventure.
Oh my
that'd
god!
be
And,
And we do it in like
play it.
we do it like a fucking Markiplier in space style, like where
Right?
at the end of every section you have to click one of 2 links.
Yeah, write it and then make me and Liam play it.
I'll just send you guys the link. Yeah,
That's great.
That sounds so
Yes.
fun.
I am so down for that.
yeah. Write that down. We're gonna do it.
So not a comedic thing. Not a comedic thing. I did want to write a choose your own adventure. It was a prompt that a friend gave me to write. We wanted to do old school ghost stories around Christmas, like how people would gather around Christmas and tell ghost stories. So we were going to write a horror story, and I was like, all right, let me write something that's like a ghost story. But what if the ghosts aren't like real ghosts? What if your haunted house is your memories? And what if the main character, you, have dementia?
Oh,
And it
God.
takes place during Christmas dinner, and the choose your own adventure paths are the fractured bits of your memory. And so at every point, you can choose 2 things, and one of them is going to be real, and one of them is going to be a false memory that is happening.
Holy fucking
yeah,
shit.
and I was like, 1, this sounds utterly terrifying and depressing, and 2, I
Amazing.
feel like I need to do a lot of research about dementia and Alzheimer's to do this any sort of justice.
That sounds like a really cool idea. I really would
It's like a dementia simulator. That
very
sounds
much
awful.
enjoy reading that if you ever
I
put that to paper.
Probably will at some point when I feel bad. But
when the prompts
come up with dementia,
yeah, dinner and dementia.
yeah. That'll be the next Christmas special.
Yeah.
This Christmas special has George Washington in it, and the next one you think you're George Washington.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully for Dr. Lask, the upcoming prompts are, something really instructive and something that really fits to the theme. I'm thinking like skeletons and steamed ham. I think that those would be really good prompts for the next chapters of this.
Yeah, well, that was a very nice time with my good friends. Fucking, do we have any other like last minute quips or funny jokes that we want to
why
end
the
on?
fuck do you have tuna under your desk?
This is for work. I'm bringing this to work on Monday.
Okay. Is there a reason?
It's a good snack at work.
Okay. I didn't know if it was for like a project or something.
Yeah, no, my engineering project. We're gonna dump this on on some dirt and see what it does.
It will not grow a tuna.
Tuna tree.
It is fertilizer, though.
Yeah, no, don't worry, it'll work.
It will grow a lask out of your neck, though.
Yeah.
Hi there, I'm a diseased growth born of your flesh.
Oh my
Oh, God! Oh, my science!
Oh my ears.